Hey, welcome back to Adam MMA. My name's Connor, and today we're going to be doing another fight review. We're watching an MMA fight, keeping it kind of current from last month. We got Adam Shelley versus Muhammad Ahmed. A little bit of hype behind this fight. I know I saw just a quick highlight from it, but I thought, man, why not watch the whole thing? Get a little bit of context for what led to that moment, which you'll see in a little bit. But yeah, if you're new to this channel, I watch the fights for the first time with you guys. I have not watched this fight before. I like seeing it live and kind of breaking it down as we go. But yeah, Adam Shelley versus Muhammad Ahmed. Cage Warriors. Let's go for it. Make sure you subscribe if you like watching these fights with me. Right off the bat, I love Shelley's style. I'm such a big fan of like kickboxing, karate style.
The range that Adam Shelley has got.
Ahmed kind of has a terrible looking guard and stance. Just gonna throw that out there. Running in with both his hands down and swinging his punches from behind his back. Not a good move. But Shelley already has a really good look to him.
2-1 on Cage Warriors so far is Shelley.
His stance, his movement, able to time and turn this around. It's a good start. Turn it down a little bit. Yeah, we see anything interesting, we'll stop it, we'll turn it around. I wouldn't call that interesting. I would call that, you know, a little bit of one man stronger than the other and bulldozing them to the mat. But looks like Ahmed's able to keep, you know, that little bit of a butterfly hook, you know, but it's not doing much for him. Yeah, he's keeping his shins and knees in front of him, right? Keeping that little bit of extra space. Right? To control a person in grappling, really you just need to get past their limbs, get body to body with them. And more or less you'll be in complete control. It's always a matter of sort of passing and controlling your opponent's limbs, though. Which is pretty intuitive, but if you think about it sort of incrementally like that, like you're doing it one limb at a time, right? You lock one down, you lock another one down, and then suddenly, right, they only have two limbs to protect themselves with. And then slowly gets to a point where you isolate all of them and the person should be completely stuck. All right, and to isolate, you just need to get past the midpoint, which right would be the joint of the knee or the elbow. I don't know, it's sort of the way I think about it when I'm going through my process of doing jiu-jitsu and grappling. All right. Shelley's doing a really good job to, you know, sort of pass while staying busy with his hands. He's constantly throwing something, you know, while still isolating those limbs like we were talking about. Ahmed doesn't seem to have much to offer. You know, I hear Ahmed and I'm thinking that's a guy who might know how to wrestle or grapple a bit, but so far I don't know what his style is. Getting punched in the head. Getting held down and getting punched in the head. And bleed from his head by the looks of it. But Shelley looks legit. Alright, he's got good control. I don't even know what their weight is. Right? Maybe 145, 155 would be my guess. Great pass. Watch him throw that leg over. Right, so right before he passed that leg over, right, you can see, you know, Ahmed's not completely dumb to the fact that Shelley obviously wants to get to mount, which is the most dominant position in mixed martial arts if you want to be violent and just smash a guy. But anyways, right, he's sliding that knee underneath, right, sort of isolating the hip and locking him in place for a moment, and it's not letting Ahmed get his knee in front of Shelley, right? Again, if you want to protect yourself in grappling, right, you need to get your limbs in front of the person. So Ahmed's trying to get his knee inside, and Shelley's negating that by sort of sitting his hips through, right, and closing that distance, right, and it makes it a lot easier to pass that leg over top afterwards. It's a very basic sort of, you know, beginner way of passing, but the way he did it was flawless, and everything in grappling comes back to timing, right? So even the most basic, oh, how'd he lose that there? just overcommitted to the ground and pound. So Ahmet literally just stood up. Come on, don't get hit just because you're being silly. Yeah, Ahmet looks already gassed. Doesn't look like Shelley has much in terms of head movement. And a lot of the time with the karate style strikers, they really don't, because they rely on their footwork so much. So if you catch them flat-footed ever, right, it's usually your best opportunity to punch them in the head. Right, opposed to, you know, a Muay Thai fighter might be very good at blocking with their hands and their forearms, or boxer, right, who might be very good with footwork as well as head movement. Right, but karate-based fighters are almost always straight up in the air, and it's all about the footwork, bouncing in and out as best as they can, and timing counters off of movement. Right, but he's got the perfect frame for it. Right. Sorry, okay, good jab to the body, stepped in with the lead foot, and the way he's almost falling face first into this punch. Like, he's got his legs are literally completely behind him, but somehow he landed into a wacky punch. Oh, booted in the head. Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, this is a good chaining together of techniques. Oh, how do you get taken down with that, though? All right. So Ahmet changes levels there. Literally just drops into his legs. Right? He didn't shoot, he didn't penetrate, he just dropped straight down and sort of dove on top. He has good hand position, right? He has a good angle on the side of Shelley. It would make it slightly harder for Shelley to defend himself where he's standing. All right, and he has that leg tied up, but if he was able to jam Ahmet's head more down and get his hips out, he might have had a chance of defending himself there, but instead he sort of rolled over. He didn't really put up much of a defense. Okay, so Ahmet does have at least a little bit of wrestling. It looks like he might know how to control on the position, but I don't know. He just looks like half of the athlete that Shelley is. All right, second round. I like that. They're just skipping right into it. No waste of time. Cage Warrior is a good promotion. Oh, beautiful. Let's play that back. Even slow it down. This is your slow it down moment. All right. So there's a big telegraph from the hand pump off of Ahmet there, right, which is great for karate-based strikers because, right, in karate, you want to be able to time your opponent perfectly as they explode into you. If you give any telegraph at all, right, usually they'll be able to counter or use footwork to evade, right? But he's literally running straight in, and before his arm has even started to move, his entire body has already leapt forward. So if that's not a telegraph, I don't know what is, right? That's the ultimate telegraph, right? Literally to run straight at your opponent with your hands almost down in front of you, right? But he's already in mid-spin here, right? Keeping his eyes locked, but his footwork has slightly shifted, right, and jumping up, and look at that head is almost leading the way in a perfect spinning back fist, in his or spinning back kick, sorry. And Ahmet's already kind of moving that direction too, right? So yeah, right in the center of the chest. Didn't look like it was the heel of the foot; it was more of the ball. I wonder if Adam Shelley did actual point. I'm not sure if he's just trained in karate, and this is all assumption. I don't even know what his background is. I know it looks like karate, but he kind of hit with the ball of the foot there instead of the heel. And I feel like a lot of straight karate point fighters will do that sort of thing just to get their points, right? But in reality, you sort of want to hit with the heel as much as you can, right? And that was almost all, looks like ball of the foot. But yeah, maybe it was just because sort of Ahmet went into it a little bit. But he really should have been pulling those toes back so he stab all with the heel. Not to critique that technique anymore, but right, if we're going to be picky, why not? That was perfect, though. Yeah, really, really well timed. Perfect technique. It just would have been so devastating if he landed the heel right in the center of his body. Just split him in two. Explode him from the outside in. man. So look at that arm, just winged from behind his back. It's such shit technique. Right, you gotta wonder sometimes like what the striking coaches are telling these guys. It's just like, it doesn't matter about your striking if you can just grapple them, or I don't know what Karamet's background is, but it's just swinging from behind his back while he like jumps in the air in the oddest way. Like his hands are so far off of him, he's switching his stance every single time. He has no consistent guard. Like it's a perfect recipe for terrible technique, is everything that he's kind of doing with his striking here. I have no doubt that if he hits, there might be some power behind it, but in general, it's just fucking shit. Hey, we're here to be picky. I appreciate good technique when I see it. Love that. Oh, sorry. Don't need the captions. Like, this should be the perfect fight for a striker like Shelley. He should be able to, like, show off every piece of his striking talents against a guy like this.
It's not really an MMA event until everyone's shouting knee, is it?
Alright, Shelley doing a little stance switch. Using a little bit of footwork. Nice. Let's see that again. And it looks like all toes right into that liver underneath the elbow there. By the way, right side's the liver, left side's the spleen. Again, alright. And it looks like he's landing with the toes, like he's almost throwing it like a toe kick. Alright, pulling the balls of the foot back. Whoa. We got to keep playing these back because there's so many moments where we see great technique and then also terrible technique in motion. Right, look at that left arm just swinging from left field. When you throw techniques like that, you might have a chance to land something with power. There might be an opportunity where you land it and it's like, hell yeah, you did it. But it is so hard to follow up with good, thoughtful technique when your whole body's been thrown out of alignment like that. Right, chain together a combination where after every single punch you lose balance. It's impossible. Right, this guy doesn't even know what a jab. Well, he knows what a jab is. He just doesn't know how to use it, I guess. A little bit of a fancier footwork there. At least he showed off a little bit of a feint. I'll play that back. Garter. Okay, yeah, tornado kick. Damn. Landed right on his head, eh? Come on, give us the replay. Damn. It was awesome. Tornado kick. You don't see a lot of them. I couldn't even celebrate, though, because I couldn't see him because of Goddard. I seen that highlight, just that kick. And that's what brought me to this fight. I didn't know he finished him with it, though. It was literally just a very quick highlight. Okay. Alright. Fakes, yeah, just as you would with a tornado kick, sort of getting your body into motion. I like that he really keeps his head locked in on his target, right? You can see, right, his head is leading the way. He already has his eyes locked in. Ahmed's expecting something from that side, protecting the side of his head. Right, steps down his leg again. Alright. Yeah. So he dropped that hand just a little bit early. Boom. He might have gave him, ended a bit soon, but like Ahmed was clearly losing that fight. Alright, step through, looking, turning the head, seeing, stepping out again, and skipping up into that kick, right into the side of his forearm, and by nature the head. Yeah, fuck, man. Shelley's sick. He's a lot of fun to watch. He's a good athlete. He moves well. I like his style. He showed off a little bit of grappling. I think his defensive wrestling, wasn't amazing. A lot of those guys from, the UK area don't usually have, like, amazing wrestling skills, albeit, like, great fighters in general. It's just not usually their strong point or, what they're known for. But, I don't know. He looked pretty well-rounded in every way. Ahmed, though, man, he's got some stuff to work on. I don't know, just throwing punches from behind his back. He seems like a bit of a dog, but he gassed almost in the start of the second round. Like, he barely made it around, and he started looking really tired. But his technique in general was just all over the map. It was really poor. Even the way he shot in on that one double leg was odd as anything. Like, I feel like someone with a little bit of better wrestling chops than Shelley would be able to sprawl out and sort of stuff his head into the map. But hey, you know what? Shelley got the win. That's the only thing that matters. And Ahmet got in there, so kudos to him for that. Anyways, if you want to like the video and you enjoy a little bit of these breakdowns, I'd appreciate it. Leave a comment if there's a fighter you think I should watch. And yeah, we'll see you next time.